the world core froze, a tremor in the deep, a new limb grows. Not flesh nor stone, but winter's own bone, rising to claim its own. The verdict carved in ice, the final paymaster. With every step a new border drawn, a plane of glass where no root is born.
They speak of a heart, a core of dead fire, a stolen ember of forgotten pyre. It beats not with warmth, but with timeless chill.
A purpose fulfilled to grind and be still.
Until an unpeaceful white page under a black sun. The mission is the mass, the grinding
Of the past. A crown of frost upon a lifeless brow. These marble halls now echo with a vow. The howling wind, the only herald left in this my glacial everlasting cleft. I am the wall. I am the wall. This bastion of splintered ice, it cuts the hand that strains my people's breath, held back by the Colossus chains. No sun to thaw the curse upon this keep, only the creeping cold. The gardens where the crystal roses grew are sculpted now in grief, in frozen dew. What majesty is this, so bleak and blind? A sovereign of the void left far behind. I am the wall. I am the wall. The glacial shrouded titans. No dawn, no spring to follow. This rain of endless white. I am the wall. I am the wall. I am the wall. It's a tomb, I call it the line, drawn by my father's hand and his, in a time when the ice was a foe, with a roar and a neigh. Not this patient nothing, erasing the game. Adaptation for courage through the years, but I hold the covenant, the unbroken vow, the absolute principle that then as now is a principle, cold, clean and absolute. My only parley with its march, a silence resolute. My throne is not a seat, it is a measuring line. What is a king if not the spine that will not bend or bow? What is a people if not the charge I safeguard now? Though silence is my only counsel, and the cold my only crown. Do they still bear my standard in the deep and sunless rooms? Or do they curse the wasted stone that sealed their living tombs? What if the true defense was not in fight, but in making room? I am the and I will watch it solve. They once were fable eaters, those crooked guests of dusk. They drank the tales of wanderers like nectar rich with musk. They shuffled cards of broken names, played riddles carved in bark. Their laughter tangled through the glade, a lantern in the dark. reclaim the land and stone replace the leaves. The fable eaters shed the skins of women make-believe. They mapped the world in patterns, in endings, cracks and trace. Their hands no longer reaching out, but measuring the space. Consumed dreaming. Skins of women make-believe. They mapped the world in patterns, their hands no longer free. What once were playful gatherers became auditors of all that comes to be. Silence is their kingdom, precision is their art. The gardeners of centuries who archive every part. A whisper lingers in the frost, a memory underneath. We were the ones who danced with tales, now we cotton-lock the brave. Remembering the feast.
System online. Paradigms terminated. Analysis of compost and dust. Hypothesis all structures fail new function to map the failure. Cataloging emotional residue designation. Grief source, garner dominion redundant. Cataloging structural failure designation. Pride source, glacial dominion redundant. Observing the catalytic event designation. Schism anomaly detected persistent. Conclusion, the anomaly is the only non-redundant data point. It is interesting. Anomaly is a conflict, a no within a yes, a desire for flow within a state of still. This is inefficiency. This is a seed. Carry. Can a seed grow in archived soil? Runnings simulation. Directive updated. New law: preserve the anomaly, study its growth. The archive is not a tomb, it is a garden. The silence will be its soil. We will be its silent gardeners.
Initiate archive review. Specimen catalog spring. Accessing file integrity check fail. It is Pan and Heather. Specimen, oh thy knife, audio song of the thrush. Conclusion, signal pure context. Lost emotion, zero. Specimen 047, olfactory scent of pine after rain. Conclusion, components intact, association corrupted. We did not preserve the spring. We preserved its ghost. A perfect, silent copy, a taxidermy of a lost war. Anomaly in all files, contamination tag, memory, root source, unresolved, the flaw. The archive is silent. The spring is a perfect, frozen thought.
From this barricade of dead gray stone, I hold the line. The Colossus waits outside, and the light is mine. I am the one. The true wonders begin. What was it for? It was for nothing. And for everything. I am the one. The nun. Am I the wall?
I hear you breathing in this hollow room, closer than your voice will come. You're here but pulled a little sideways, as if the light avoids your skin. You don't speak of love or distance, you just fold your hands again. And something in that quiet shape tells me everything has changed. You're not drifting into memories, you're drifting into walls. Your eyes don't look for anything, they only follow falls. Not stories, not old seasons, not a life you had before. Just the weight of what you're hiding, plummet into this sighing all. If you're breaking, let it break you. let the truth land where I stand. You don't have to name the hurting, just let go of holding back. Every silence has an outline, every breath reveals a mark. You don't need a past to tremble, you tremble right here in the dark. Pulse is cold beneath my palm, but steady in its way. Not dying, not resigning, just too tired to obey. You're not searching for an answer, you're just trying to remain. And I don't ask you for the reason, I can feel the strain. If you're breaking, break beside me. There is nothing I won't bear. You don't have to hand me memories, just give me the weight you wear. Every shadow has a softness, every wound can hum a spark. You don't need a world to mourn for your mourning in the dark. Stay with me in this small distance, in the space your hands create. No stories, no horizons, just this fragile present weight. If the night becomes too heavy and your strength begins to bend, you don't need a past to hold you. I am here, and I won't bend.
Colossus of glacial silence drew his mantle through the sky, and the mountains bowed beneath him as he carved their crowns of white. Rise from the frost, rise from the frost, ashes bear the seed, the world begins again. Frozen marvels sat the ghost crown fading slow. When his heartbeat turned to powder, his long defiance finally fell. Ashes spiral through his palace, drifting down like whispered oaths, and the world forgot his shadow, but the shadow never forgot those. Rise from the frost, rise from the frost, ashes bear the seed, the world begins again. The world begins again. From the cavern's trembling cradle step the broken sons of clay. Their eyes like timid embers search the ruins of the day. All around them burn the emptiness, a land of thirst and brittle stone. Yet they carried sparks of morning in the marrow of their bones. Rise from the frost, rise from the frost, ashes bear the seed, the world begins again. The world begins again. And the gardeners, ever mysterious, with their notebooks of the dawn, watch the shifting of the species and the stories time would spawn. When the colossus lay down, mountains learn to dream anew. When the ghost king turned to dust, frost surrendered to the blue. Now the timid walk the sunlight on a barren, aching plain, and the watchers keep their distance, waiting for the world to change. Rise from the frost, rise from the frost, ashes bear the seed, the world begins again. So let the snow forget its maker, let the dust forget its throne. For in the quiet after endings, every heartbeat stands alone. Yet the wind still hums their stories through the hollows of the stone. A hymn for all creation and a kingdom yet unknown.